Hello, this is Scott M. Schmerlson, board member for LAUSD, representing Board District 3.
And this is Nate Shin, and I'm the student board member for LAUSD. I'm a senior at North Hollywood High School, which is in Board District 3.
It's a pleasure to have you join me on this podcast, Nate. We've got a lot to share about our schools this year.
It's my pleasure as well. I'm so glad to be back at school, Mr. Schmerlson. I'm excited to see my friends and all my teachers.
I bet you are, Nate. It's your senior year after all.
Yes, at the end of this year, I expect to graduate from North Hollywood. I'm really looking forward to this year and being on the LAUSD board.
Before we get started, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, Nate?
Sure. I first got involved in the district serving on my school site council. I'd recommend that to a lot of students as a great opportunity to learn more about how the district works and the different ways that the district serves our students. I next joined the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, where I learned so much about the issues facing our community. And I got to work with other students in planning the Young Men's Leadership Conference with the Student Empowerment Unit. Last year, I ran for this position on the school board, and I'm so excited for everything that's going to come next.
I thought today we could start by having you tell us what you think about high school students are thinking about as they return to school this year.
Well, I think all high school students are so excited to be back on campus after a hopefully restful summer break. As a senior, I've been thinking about college admissions, and I know a lot of my fellow high schoolers are thinking about that as well. Some students might be a little nervous about the college admissions process, especially since it's something new for them. And if we look at the numbers, a lot of colleges have gotten more competitive these past couple years. That's why I think it's so important that students know about all the resources the district provides to help make sure that they succeed. Students can talk to their counselors and look online for all the different programs that the district has. All high school students are taking courses in line with A through G requirements, which means that they'll be eligible for admission in UC and CSU colleges. I think students are so looking forward to all the new changes and programs coming to the district this year. First of all, students are very excited about our new cafeteria menus, and students have given me raving reviews about them as well. I'm so grateful to the district staff and Cafe LA workers who make this change possible. Students are also very excited about LAUSD's free tutoring program. If you go on to Schoology, you can find more details about how to get access to free 24/7 tutoring in multiple languages.
Now let's talk about something that's very new this year, and that comes as a result of a state law, Senate Bill, or SB 328, which was signed into law 3 years ago and takes effect this year. Tell us about it, Nate.
Yes, SB 328 was signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom in response to community, parent, and student concerns about the amount of sleep that students are getting. So SB 328 requires that high schools start no earlier than 8:30 a.m. and middle and elementary schools start no earlier than 8 o'clock.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommend that teens get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. But even for those who go to bed on time, early morning hours can be rough.
Yes, that's right. The science tells us that sleep is so important for teenagers, yet less than 30% get those necessary 8 to 10 hours. And that's why SB 328 was passed. Studies show that when students get more sleep, they're more prepared to learn and remember what they learn in school better. So some students have asked, if school starts 30 minutes later, doesn't that mean it ends 30 minutes later? That soccer practice ends 30 minutes later, I get home 30 minutes later, and I go to bed 30 minutes later. How does that help me? And the reason why we can get more sleep with these later school start times is because students' circadian rhythms are different from those of adults. What that means is that students' biological clocks are different. So if you've ever noticed your grandparents can get up early in the morning, like 6 a.m., and feel completely rested, that's because their bodily clocks are different from yours. And so science tells us that teenagers generally are able to stay up later without getting tired, which means that they need more sleep in the morning to be able to get the rest that they need. So some students and families have raised concerns about having to shift their morning schedules a little bit to get to school. What can the district do to help, Mr. Schmerlson?
Well, talking about getting to school, I want to chat a bit about a program that's been in place since last year. But I know It will help lots of students to get to school on time. And that's the Metro's Fareless system, where the district and Los Angeles City invested $1.4 million to help our students get to school by getting every student, TK to 12, a tap card that they can use to get free transportation on all Metro operated lines like the Dash network downtown and in other cities, including Culver City, Norwalk, Montebello, and Santa Monica.
That's awesome, Mr. Schmerelson. It's amazing how the district and the community can come together to support students. To get your Metro Go Pass tap card, students should go to their main office on campus. Once you get the physical card, you'll have to activate it online by filling out a couple of questions. The best thing about the Metro Go Pass tap card is that you can use it 24/7. So you can swipe your tap card to go hang out with friends on the weekend or go to play at the park.
Well, that was a great chat, Nate. Thank you for joining me today in this podcast.
I want to thank our audience for listening, and I'm looking forward to our next episode.